Hello YouTube, it's Ryan here with Hobbies Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another Dragon Ball review. Today we're going to be looking at the Fortuneteller Baba arc, which is chapters 97 to 112. It's, what is that, 20 chapters? No, 3 and 12, 15 chapters. And yeah, no need for the book facts since everyone knows what Dragon Ball is at this point. And in terms of a rating, this is a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a great arc and also a great conclusion to this part of the story. I really, really enjoyed it. It ties up a lot of stuff and pushes over to the next part of the story, which is going to be just basically 3 massive tournament arcs, I think, that are each about 20 to 30 chapters apiece. So, yeah, we're near the end game of the Dragon Ball part of the Dragon Ball story, and hopefully I can get to Dragon Ball Z by the end of the year. So, yeah, the premise of this part of the story is that they need to find the last Dragon Ball, but somehow the radar does not work. There's some problem. They have decided that it's probably because the thing was eaten, and so they have to find a way to track it, and Goku is told that he can visit the fortune teller Baba, who can find anything that you are looking for. And so he goes off to her lair to try to interact with her and ask her for this favor. So yeah, Goku's about to leave the Red Ribbon Army headquarters, kind of in a tizzy. He's kind of angry because the radar doesn't work and he doesn't really know how to get back to Master Roshi's house from the Red Ribbon headquarters. But it's a good thing that the crew showed up at the end of last arc, because they managed to flag him down. And so they all chat and they learn where Goku needs to go next. So Roshi tells Goku that he needs to go find Baba, who turns out to be his sister. And so Goku goes to get Upa, Bora's a young kid, who is the person that Goku promised to use the wish on. And he manages to get Yamcha, Puar, and Krillin invested in his journey. And so they go with him alongside Upa to go find the fortune teller Baba. So yeah, eventually they find the fortune teller's home, which is in the middle of nowhere. And they see that there's a lot of people around here, but they're all pretty angry, and a lot of them seem to not get what they're looking for. And it turns out that fortune teller Baba actually orders them to pay her a huge sum of money that none of them have, although they could have just asked Bulma to give it to them, and then she would have done so. But because this is a martial arts series, first and foremost, they have to fight for it. So Baba tells them, I have 5 champions, and there's 5 of you. Why don't you guys fight these guys? And if you beat them, I'll do the fortune telling or the scrying that you need for free. And so Goku naturally agrees, and the fights end up being pretty funny and also pretty good by the end once Goku is involved. So the first matchup is Krillin versus the Vampire, and the Vampire beats Krillin in a pretty funny way. He buys Krillin's head, he makes a pun about the taste of Krillin, and then he gets beat by Puar and Upa, who manage to convince him that they are his greatest weaknesses. I think Upa's mouth smells like garlic, and then Upa T-poses, and he's like, I'm a crucifix, and the vampire cries, and Puar smacks the shit out of him. So, yeah, pretty funny stuff. I actually really enjoy this little battle. It's not really the most exciting of things, but it has a lot of good little jokes here, so I really like this part of the story. Eventually, Puar and Upa stand down. They decide to surrender. They are done with the tournament because there's really nothing else they can do. So in turn, Yamcha steps up, and he ends up battling the Invincible Man. Krillin manages to come up with a good plan here, which is to go get Bulma and Master Roshi, and then uses Bulma's boobs to make Master Roshi nosebleed to cover the Invincible Man in something that's going to make him visible. So it's a pretty funny joke, but it is pretty shitty, and Bulma does get mad at Krillin, so it's all good in the end, but it is pretty funny. And so Yamcha beats the Invincible Man with some hacks, which is pretty funny, and overall it's at this point Yamcha is basically descending into loserdom pretty fast. So yeah, then Yamcha fights the mummy and actually gets his ass whooped pretty badly. Actually, he loses pretty bad. And so it's Goku's turn, and Goku mollywops the mommy, or sorry, the mummy, not the mommy. That's something different, because Goku is basically superhuman at this point. He has definitely exceeded Master Roshi, who was already superhuman in nature, and so Goku is quickly outstripping literally anyone that you can think of. So yeah, he beats the mummy pretty handedly, and now Goku battles the devil, which is a pretty funny character. Roshi lets us know that he's actually Baba's second in command, so if she's sending him out before the last fighter, that means that she has someone even stronger in her little posse. So Goku eventually does beat the mummy, or sorry, the devil, and actually it seems to be slightly harder than the mummy, but not really very difficult. But then the big man himself steps out, the fifth member of Baba Yaga's, or sorry, Fortuneteller Baba. Baba Yaga is someone else. And it turns out to be Grandpa Gohan. So no one knows about this until the very end when Goku manages to beat him. But the whole fight, everyone's trying to figure out how he can do this. It turns out he can use the Kamehameha. And it also turns out that he knows Goku's weakness. They initially think that it's because this guy just happens to be a very great fighter, and so was able to analyze Goku's weaknesses. But then Roshi realizes, hey, this is my old student, Gohan, who also happens to be Goku's, father figure. And I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty emotional when Goku realizes that it's his grandpa, and he has this reunion with him. And I don't know, man, it really hit me that Goku has this family member that mysteriously died one day. We learned that Goku probably killed him in one of his fits of rage when he was a child. But he finally gets closure with his grandfather, and his grandfather is very happy to see him, but also tells him, hey, I still have to go, but I'm very happy I saw you, and I can't wait to see you grow stronger and live your life. And it's really good. I loved it. It was really, really emotional. I definitely cried for a little bit because these types of moments really hit me, and they really, really affect me a lot. And it's really good stuff. I really like this really powerful little moment of emotion that was pretty serious, and that wasn't kind of ridiculous, because most of Dragon Ball so far is either really cool, really funny, or really dumb. And this moment of emotional power was really, really good. I liked it a lot. And so the battle ends, and so they get to see where the ball is. Turns out it's with Pilaf and his two subordinates, and they have these little mechas, and they battle Goku, and Goku beats them pretty easily because they're losers. And he manages to get the last ball. He then takes Upa back to Karin Tower, and he summons Shenron, which is so cool. Shenron is such a badass. I really want to get a little figure of him or something. Probably a Funko Pop, one of those Funko Pops of Shenron would be pretty cool. And he wakes Bora up, or he resurrects him, and then Goku has a little moment for them and decides to leave because he has to go back to Roshi and them. And then we have this new separation of everyone. Everyone goes their own way because everyone has to train. They have 3 years before the next Strongest Under the Heavens tournament, the Tenkai what's it called? The Budokai Tenkaichi? The Tenkaichi Budokai? I don't know what the Japanese version is. But the Strongest Under the Heavens tournament. And so they're all going to go train. And Roshi manages to impart some last bit of knowledge and tells Goku, hey man, you should stop using your Nimbus because walking and running and traveling on foot is actually also really good training. And so Goku naively says okay and continues on his way, just having fun, because that's just how Goku is. It was a really good end to this part of the story, and I really am looking forward to the next section, the next saga here. So yeah, in terms of characters, Baba gets introduced. We learn that she's Roshi's sister, and we get to learn a little bit about her powers, which are also more Esper powers that build up on what we learned from General Blue. And it was a really great moment when Gohan showed up. I think this is the first time we see him since the first chapter, when we learn, or no, maybe it wasn't the first chapter, but in general, since we learned that Goku probably killed him in one of his transformations. And it was a great moment. I really liked it. It was also really fun to see someone fight at Goku's level at this point, because Roshi himself is like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to beat this kid ever in my life. He has surpassed me quite a bit, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. In terms of world building, nothing much here. We get introduced to some monsters. I think at this point we have all of the classic movie monsters. So we have Dracula, which is the vampire, the Mummy, the Invincible Man. We had Android 8, which is Frankenstein. There's something else. Oh, well, the devil, obviously, but he wasn't really a monster. So yeah, I think we have all of the monsters from the old horror movies, which is pretty fun. And there really isn't too much else. Oh, well, actually, we learned that, you know, resurrections definitely happen, and we also learned that there's a what's it called? A heaven or a hell, a place where spirits live. And this is, of course, important because it is a primary place of training for Goku in later parts of the series. So really good stuff to see all of this established really nicely. So I like that a lot. In terms of artwork, it's fantastic. There's actually a lot of good battle scenes, a lot of good motion here. I think it's a little bit better than before. I'm not really sure what it is. It's something just feels different, and I quite like it. And I think it's really, really good stuff. So yeah, there was definitely an increase in the art quality, and I like that a lot. And in terms of fan service, there's a little bit of bra action here with Bulma, so it is what it is. It's not as egregious as anything that happened earlier in the series, so you're all good. Ratings-wise, it's a 5 out of 5. It was a wonderful end to this part of the story, and it was a wonderful arc in general. So yeah, I really liked it. And that's all there is for this part of Dragon Ball. This is the end of the Red Ribbon Saga, and I hope you guys will join me for the next part of the story whenever I get around to it. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.